Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. All right, Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Quadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. And from what I just read, which is an excerpt out of 2nd Ezra 16 and 13 down to the 16th verse. All right, what is that talking about? What is that describing? All right, what are the arrows that the Most High is going to shoot? What are the arrows that the Most High describes as being sharp? All right, what this is talking about are these ICBMs that you're seeing being built by all of these other nations around the world. All these missiles are being built for the sole purpose, all right, of destroying Babylon the Great. We know, all right, through the spirit, where Babylon the Great is today. All right, and a lot of the world knows, all right, and that is America, Babylon the Great. This is prophesied in the scriptures, this mighty nation that has been risen upon the earth, that has oppressed the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, who are the Israelites. And that judgment, which is one of the plagues of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, are these arrows, which are those thermonuclear destructive missiles. Because if you sit back and you actually look at them, fly through the air, so to speak, they look like arrows. They're also known as glittering spears in the scriptures. Okay? And these are the weapons of the Lord. All right, so you can't blame the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American for building these missiles or having these missiles. These missiles are being built by the other nations such as China, Russia, Iran. All right, and that's all through the spirit of the Lord. The Lord has put the spirit on these other nations to build those, as well as Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great has their own collection of these arrows, okay, which are also called glittering spears in the scriptures. All right, I'm gonna get a couple more scriptures. Let's go in. All right, this is, bear with me 1 second. This is gonna be real quick. It's gonna be straight to the point, man. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 41. If I wet my glittering sword, let's see if I can start up a little bit. 30, that's perfect. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. This is the Most High talking, by the way. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So these missiles that are predestined to hit America, Babylon the Great, they're going to hit this place 100%. Why? Because it's part of the prophecy. All right. And then the Lord said there is no one that can deliver out of my hand. So this place is not going to be delivered out of the Most High's hand by man's means, by man's help or fight against the Most High, which proves to you that the nation of E, they're not going to have any way out of this destruction, man. And these glittering spears, these swords, these arrows spoken of in the scriptures, they are these missiles. And they've been spoken of in the time of Moses, man. They've always been in the scriptures. But now you have the prophets breaking down, all right, from the apostles and elders on down to all the brothers around the world, breaking down what this means through the spirit, man. Deuteronomy 32 and 44, I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword, that's one of those missiles, because if you look at it, you look at different pictures of these missiles, they look like spears flying through the sky with that burner after them, which is the rocket propeller. All right. And a lot of these missiles that are being made, they're nuclear powered. So they're not going to break their ranks. Okay. And they're also described as an army in the scriptures. Lord willing, I can get that as well. This is Deuteronomy 32:40. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword in mine hand, take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward them that hate me. I will make mine arrows drunk. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood. That's those ICBM, the thermonuclear destructive missiles. And my sword shall devour much, and my sword shall devour flesh. All right, and that's what those missiles are gonna do. They're gonna be. That's why you've you hear a lot of the brothers say a lot of people are gonna be missile food, because what do you do with food when you're hungry? You devour it. Okay, and that's what these missiles are gonna do. That's what the Lord said, likened his missiles to doing. It says, Deuteronomy 32:42, I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. All right, that's the Lord's revenge upon a wicked nation. These thermonuclear destructive missiles coming to pelt this place, man. And you can't blame the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. You can't blame us prophets for this. This is all the doings of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Obviously, he orchestrated this reality. We didn't. We're just narrating it for you, giving you understanding, giving the world understanding of it, giving our people understanding of this book through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Deuteronomy 32 and 43, rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants and will render vengeance to his adversaries and will be merciful unto his land and to his people, which is what we're hoping for, man. The mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai through this great spirit, through us teaching his word, man. Okay. All right. But nevertheless, let's go back and let's get some more scriptures on these glittering spears, these swords. Okay. This is, and these arrows, excuse me, can't forget those. This is Jeremiah 50:14. I'm going to start at 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. What is it talking about? America, Babylon the Great. This is a prophecy speaking of this already happening. It's already happened, man. Okay. Which means the Lord's words always come to pass, just like you read in Deuteronomy 28, that the Lord will send us into Egypt, which means bondage or double straits, just like we were in the ancient world, but into another Egypt, but this time on ships. All right, that's how we got over here. We got over here on ships, just like the history of the heathen show you, which shows you that the Lord's word always goes forth. All right. Telling you that this wrath that the Most High has planned and these destructive missiles that he has planned to shoot are going to be shot soon, man. That's why they've been created. Jeremiah 50:13, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, America, Babylon the Great, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, spare no missiles. Okay? Those are what these arrows are in the scriptures, man. What else? What? So you're telling me one single wooden arrow can desolate a whole kingdom? It's talking about these thermonuclear destructive missiles, man. Those are the arrows or the weapons or the plagues, all right, or the spears of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, his judgment, man. Jeremiah 50:14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, which is talking about these other nations. All right, preparing their missiles. Now, that's the spirit because the article just came out, I believe, earlier this morning, stating that Iran has their missiles aimed at 20, I believe, I could be wrong, I could be mistaken, but I believe it said 20 U.S. bases, man. Shooting those arrows, man. And if you look at the missiles, they look like arrows. They look like spears. They're long shafted, rocket propelled, nuclear rocket propelled. You see? Who put the spirit on man to build those? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because those are his weapons of indignation. Those are his plagues. Jeremiah 50:14, put yourselves in array against Babylon around about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. So they're going to shoot those missiles. Spare no arrows. And that's time. Those are the times that we're moving into. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Who is the she? Babylon the great whore. All right. The woman is set upon the beast. You see? Verse 15, shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. That's what's. So you can't blame this destruction coming on us. Telling you that it's coming. We're just the messengers, man. Telling you, narrating what the Most High is going to do and letting you know what he's going to do as his messengers, man. That's what. And telling you what's going to happen before it happens, man. Prophesying as well, man. Teaching. This scriptures, the honest truth and sincerity. Okay? Giving the world the real understanding of the scriptures, because only the Israelites can understand this book, man. Jeremiah 50:15, shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Take vengeance upon her as she have done, do unto her. And that's what's about to take place, man. The shooting, all right, and destruction of these ICBM missiles, man. Okay? Let me get this. This is, bear with me 1 second. This is Psalm 7 and 11. Yahweh judgeth the righteous in the Most High. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is angry with the wicked every day. He will turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. The destructive missiles, man. The thermonuclear destructors, man. He has prepared those. He has selected to put the spirit on men to build those for his pleasure, for his appeasement, man. And where's the main place they're going to hit? This place, America, Babylon the Great, man. Like I read in Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, man. All the doings of the Lord. It says it here. Psalm 7 says it right here. Psalm 7 and 13. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Those missiles. You see? And those missiles are going to come and wipe everything away, man. It tells you in the scriptures. Let's get it. Because you can see, you can look at the effects of what is it? After a nuclear device hits a city, they have documentaries on it. You can go on YouTube and watch that. They have examples. All right, they have a play-by-play. It's all on the script. It's all on the internet, man. In this reality, those were formed and those were created as a part of the prophecy of the Bible, man. As a part of the appeasement of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ, man. It's not a happy ending for the wicked, man. And that's what the scriptures have always said. It's going to be a fiery destruction. It's known as the second death, the thermonuclear destruction, man. Excuse me, man. But it's frustrating when people don't understand that, hello, the arrows, the glittering spears, these are the weapons of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's indignation. These are what's going to cause that second death of fire and brimstone, man. Okay? Let's get this real quick. This is Isaiah 14. And what happens when these missiles hit? Nuclear wind that has a radius of miles, up to 10 miles, up to 20 miles from the blast spot, from the blast zone, that blows everything away with hot melting heat. Over 1,000 degrees, man. Because the Lord's going to put his spirit into all this wrath and destruction and this fire and chaos, man. And it's going to send out that destructive wind that goes out 10 to 20 to 30-mile radiuses, man. The destructive, hot, fiery wind, man. That's going to burn and decimate and destroy and melt everything in its path, man. That's scriptural. They show you this on YouTube. Esau tests these missiles and shows you documentation. He shows you play-by-plays of what happens when a thermonuclear destructive missile hits, all right, the epicenter of one of these major cities, man. And it's all scriptural. Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children, the children of Esau, the E's, which are currently, all right, the leaders of Babylon, the inhabitants and the rulers of Babylon. Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. All right, and they are synonymous with Babylon, because if you read down in that scripture, it talks about them being them and Babylon being synonymous in the same chapter, man. And we know from history that Babylon was ruled by Nimrod, Nebuchadnezzar, which were Hamites and Assyrians. But in Psalms 137, it shows you that Babylon, whatever, the Babylon the Great, is synonymous with Edom or E. Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. All the iniquities, the atrocities, the destruction, the rape, robbing, and murdering of the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them. Here comes that destroying wind, that thermonuclear destructive wind. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction. Like you take a broom and you sweep dirt. That's what those destructive winds are going to do to Babylon the Great, man. Sweep this place completely desolate and burn everything in its path, man, saith the Lord of hosts. Okay? The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand. These are the doings of the Most High. This reality is orchestrated by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And that includes these missiles that are going to be pelt America, Babylon the Great. Thus saith the Lord. Okay? Let's get one more. This is, bear with me 1 second. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, because it's described what the missiles and arrows are going to do when they hit. Jeremiah 51, or when they come upon the earth, like 2nd Ezra said. Jeremiah 51:1, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, that besom of destruction. That thermonuclear destructive wind that goes out for radiuses and radiuses. You see? It's all in the scriptures, man. This reality and the ending of it is all in the scriptures, man. Jeremiah 51:2. And I will send unto Babylon fanners, those destructive arrows, glittering spears that are shot by mighty archers, that are shot by the other nations, sparing none of them. Those nations sparing none of their arrows upon this place, like the scripture says. Those are the fanners that are being sent to this place, America, Babylon the Great. Jeremiah 51:2, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Sounds familiar, huh? Verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, those missiles coming out of the silos. It's all scriptural. And against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. Why is this all taking place? Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is rendering a recompense or an indignation for the controversy of Israel, for what you did to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That is what's coming. It's written in the scriptures. We're just breaking it down to you. We're reading the scriptures and reading for ourselves and like, wow, this is going to happen all through the Spirit. And the Lord said, once we get the understanding, teach it to the world. Those are the prophets, man. Lord willing, with those men, we're prophesying, all right, just like the prophets of old did, that nobody listened to, but then everything that they talked about came to pass. One main one to focus on, pertaining to this lesson, is Noah. Then he warned them about the flood. He warned all the people around where he was about the flood, the first death. And nobody listened. And what happened? It started to rain. Noah went into his ark that he built and prepared, closed the door, and everyone outside of that ark died. All right, from the flood, from being drowned. Okay. Same thing taking place again for the nation of Israel, because you're the only people that can be saved. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're likened unto Noah in these times. What? Letting you know that these missiles are going to destroy America, Babylon the Great, where we currently live. And the only way to get out is through those chariots that the world is starting to see and that are being put on TV. Those are for us. Lord willing, we endure and make it. Those are to come and pick us up. And those are likened to getting into that ark. First, by coming back into this knowledge so that the Lord sees you fit to be saved. And then being saved in those chariots, man. That all that is likened to coming back into this spiritual ark, man. So that we're not destroyed by this destroying wind, man. Okay. Jeremiah 51:4, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, which means the Lord of armies, which shows you the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, who the word ignorantly calls God and Jesus. It's not all love. It's not all nice. They are men of war. Okay. Though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, which is what I was talking about coming into the spiritual ark. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. We are living in that time. That's why you're seeing these missiles being built. That's why you're seeing articles come out where Iran is stating that they have 20 U.S. bases unlocked in target, ready for destruction, because all this destruction is going to be let go. And that just lets you know that the sealing of the elect is getting closer and closer as these things start to manifest that are spoken of in the scriptures more and more. That it means that we're closer to our redemption, closer to the elect being completely sealed. The closer and closer we see. 2 Ezra 9 says, measure the time diligently in itself. Jeremiah 51:5, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, which means the Lord of armies, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Verse 7, let's keep going. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her and take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh our God. And that's what we're doing, man. All of this reality that has been orchestrated, us being in slavery, you being on top, now you about to be destroyed and go right back to the bottom. The Lord showing himself, the chariot showing himself, then the Lord coming in his glory. That's what we're declaring in Zion, and it's all the work of Yahweh our God. Verse 11, Jeremiah 51:11, make bright the arrows, those gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon, to destroy it. because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. All right. So from the scriptures that I've read, you can see a picture. All right. And if you can, that's what my job was to do. If you can picture the things that I'm saying, man, you could picture the missiles being the arrows, and you could picture that destroying wind after you go and watch a documentation on thermonuclear destructive winds and what they would do to downtown areas. You could picture all these things based off of the reading of the scriptures and me giving you the scriptures and the understanding, man. Lord willing, it was edifying. Call Allah Yum La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling on the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. Shalom and Abad Babal.